Hello, good evening. It is Wednesday night chat with Nick. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the one man show, Wednesday night chat with Nick. How's everyone's doing? Let's see. First, a big thank you to all the participants in the trivia game so far. We finally had the first four round finalized. We had the final four. I believe the game is going to final. Well, the next game will be Saturday. I had saw some email exchange. I'm waiting for all the players to agree on the time, then to make it official. But I believe it's gonna be Saturday afternoon, and I will let the four player decide on how they want to proceed. Um, I'm planning. Well, all four players will show up in the same chat, and we either have uh, a match where all four are playing at the same time to determine the winner. So it's going to be a double size match with 20 questions, and then the winner would be picked. Or we can have two semi-final games where I will randomly pick two players versus two players and do it that way. So I will let the four guys decide on how they want to proceed. I'm game either way. I just think that it might be fun to have like a cage match. Four enters, one come out alive, or one come out a winner. So if they choose that way, that would be fun. If they decided that they want to have hello Comic Crack, hello Terrence. If they decide to have a 2-on-2, one-on-one match, that's fine too. If that's the case, then we might not have time. Hello B2D, we might not have time to do all three matches on the same chat. It might take, each match can take up to 20 to 30 minutes. So if we have two semi-final matches, that might take up 40 to 50 minutes of time. And then we have the final game, that might take up another 20 to 30 minutes. So altogether, you can be looking at 70 plus minutes, which might be too long for some people to stick around. That's why I think it might be fun to have all four players fight each other in one big round. But we'll find out this weekend. Okay, so stay tuned. I will broadcast the game. Hopefully, I won't have such a screwed up like I did. Yes, Brooke is here. Yes, Brooke. It could be, I let the four guys decide. A battle royale with all four players present could be fun. And it's going to be a double size question. So instead of like using 10 questions and 10 questions, I lumped in all 20 questions. Tim is ready. Tim is already trash talking in the chat. So yes, I am all for that. Odin, hello. Let's see. Just before I launched the chat, I finally sat down and watched the Logan trailer, and I like it. For those that haven't seen the latest and greatest trailer from the movie Logan, it looked good. It looked unlike any other Wolverine or X-Men movies. Okay, it have a different tone to it. The girl looked pretty crazy. It looked good. I'm surprised that they had such a. I'm surprised that they're able to have such a young actor being so violent. I can't recall when is the last time I saw such a young actor act with such great violence like that. Okay, so remind me if I'm missing something. If I haven't seen a movie where you see a preteen, you're talking about somebody that could be 8, 9 years old, killing a lot of people, let me know. It's the first for me as far as seeing this little girl in the Logan trailer. Terrence agreed that it looked like it's gonna be good. I have I don't have high hopes or great expectation. I just want to see a good movie. I want to see something different. Um, Speaking of something different, a package came today, and it took me a few seconds to realize what it was. It's from ComicLink. Okay, it's a huge thing, and I'm like, I know I did not bid on anything on ComicLink in a long time, so I'm like, what is? And then it dawned on me, the calendar. Last year, ComicLink sent many people a calendar. Okay, and it was poorly mailed. Okay, I got lucky. My calendar arrived in great shape, no problem, no damages. But Nate, the comic book preacher, Nate, his came all folded up and banged up because I think his mailman just kind of rolled up the calendar. And so I'm gonna open this calendar up live, and we'll see what awesomeness is in this year ComicLink calendar. So Metropolis give out bottle of wine at the end of every year, and ComicLink is starting a yearly calendar gift giving. So here we go. Whoa. What else in here? Is that it? Should be it. Okay, that's it. Look at this. Beautiful. In near mint condition. On the cover, you have the Action 7, a fairly rare book, okay? Carl on Bass is here. Let's see. Ignore the phone. It's 7 o'clock. I'm not answering any phone from any clients. So you got January, you have this. Let's see, what February? Well, that's December. Oh, January, you have. This is basically a recap of my recap. I talk about this book, this Sensation Comics, number 1, 31,000. Yeah. This Detective 35, 34,000. Yeah, but it's a recap of my recap. Yeah, with 106,000. There you go, 106,000. So that's February. March, you have Tale of Suspense 9.6. Look at this one. How much? 375. Well, those was not keeping up recently. I believe an Amazing Fantasy 15, 9.2 was sold on ComicLink for, I think, 400 something thousand, or 396, something crazy, something around 400K. I read the news on the CGC forum, but I'm too. Maybe after I finish showing the calendar, I will go to ComicLink website and check it out. 22,000 for this More Fun. I must say I'm not a big fan of the More Fun. Something about the covers of most More Fun issues kind of boring to me. How dare I say that? Hulk 1 9.0. 275,000. Woo! Oh, yeah. This is the one I like. Action 13. Oh, yeah. Wowza. 71 grand. Oh, Freak of Nature. FF52. 9.8. I'm pretty sure I recap all of these books. Like I said, this is a recap of my recap. Is ComicLink watching me? $90,000. I'm just kidding, of course, because I recap the big ticket items. So would ComicLink waste time putting small items in this calendar? No. So I'm kidding, of course. Wonder Woman #1, $28,000. Oh, X-Men 1 9.6. Look at that. $350,000. Yeah. Not for us minions on YouTube. This book's kind of odd. Conan 1, even 9.8 is only 5,200. Oh, Wonder Woman first appearance, All Star 8 2.0, 32,000. Isn't it odd that they show the Conan 1? Everything else is 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000, 200, 300,000, and then you get Conan 1 for 5,000. But that's it. That's the calendar. On the back is the 12 months. Okay, so thank you to ComicLink for the gift. I can put this on my wall, save it. I saved the one from last year so that it's a cool item to have. Oh, look like Tim have a new video up. Chaz is here. Chaz, love your chat last night with the trivia game. I'm telling you, I hope more people do it. As much as I love to do my trivia game more than once a year, sometimes time is not available to do that. And I encourage other people in the community to run similar games because, I know nothing about modern books. I know very little about DC. So my trivia game is limited as far as the scope of what topics are being discussed. So, for those that are more familiar with modern books or DC, run your own trivia game. Have some fun. It is about having fun with other collectors in the YouTube comic community. So I would not be offended one bit if other people follow suit and do trivia games. Underground, hey, why not, Terrence? This I'm sure people like Blake would participate if you let him know that you're having a game, or other people that collect underground. But the bottom line is, I think it's a lot of fun for people to play the games, regardless of the price. Okay, who cares about the price, right? For the most part. But I think it's I think would be a lot of fun. I mean, last night I watched Chaz on his marathon chat, which is like 4 or 5 hours long. He had a huge trivia game going on that I think like 5 or 6 players was playing at the same time, and the question was a lot of fun. I watched it after. I did not watch it live. Yeah, so I encourage people. I mean, sure, winning is fun, but at the same time, it's it's one way to have fun. You don't have to be the winner to enjoy the game. I hope people get that out of my game. Is that it's sometimes it's a luck of the draw on the question. You never know what you're gonna get. Yes, Tim, go for it. Like I said, there's a lot of people. I got a couple comments on my videos on people's like, oh, can I include modern topics? Because one person said I don't know much about Bronze or Silver Age stuff, but I'm not comfortable playing the game because I know more about modern books. And I'm just like, then create your own games of modern books. Nobody say that what I know is the only thing that is important. So, hello, Johnny Noise, Space Boy Jordan, even Larry, Rebel Comics is here, and Thomas Churchill. All kind of people are here. So yes, Tim, since you show up late, I mentioned earlier in this live chat that I leave it up for you and Brooke and Undisputed Frost, as well as Frank, to decide if you want a battle royale, so that all 4 players will play in one big match to determine the winner, or have the semi-final match and then the final. Either way, it's fine with me. I think it would be a lot of fun to have a battle royale with all 4 players and 20 questions. But that is it. I binge watch. Sci-Fi Channel has a lot of hit and misses. Sometimes some show is really good. Like I enjoy The Expanse. I even enjoy Dark Matters. Okay, but the newest show that they have, I really enjoy is Incorporated. I think I saw 5 episodes so far. I like it. It's a really personally, I like it. I probably wait until the season is over to give a quick review. But for those that are looking for a sci-fi show, try Incorporated. Okay, on the Sci-Fi Channel. I think it has a good it has good production value. Like some sci-fi show, you can tell are very low budget, and it's still decent. Like Dark Matters. Dark Matters is a very low budget sci-fi show compared to The Expanse. The Expanse is much more fancy, but if you watch Dark Matters, it's like they shot the show in a dark alley. Yes, Tim, I agree. Back in the days, Sci-Fi channels. I remember when Sci-Fi Channel first, even 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, it was a whole lot of horrible C movie, not even B movie. You're talking C movie, like some kind of crocodile monster. I don't know. I mean, the acting, the story, the cinematography, the special effect. Many of these C movie were just horrendous. Okay, it make Toxic Avenger look good. But lately, over the last, I say 2 years, I think Sci-Fi has started to put out some really high quality stuff. Even the stuff that didn't last, I thought looked good, or have a better feel, a better look, and even the low budget show was better written, better act, better script. So I'm a huge fan of the Sci-Fi Channel these days. Yeah, Dark Matters, it's okay. Like I said, it's not the best one, but surprisingly, I like it enough to finish the season. Um, Carl, I know you like Travelers, okay? So maybe you should do a review on the show Travelers. I could not finish the season. I throw up my hands after 8 episodes of Travelers. I cannot watch it any longer. Um, but I'm looking forward to February. February is gonna be the two shows that I most look forward to in February is Fortitude, season 2, Fortitude. That's on. It's gonna be on Amazon, and then Humans, season 2. So yeah, that's my two most eagerly awaited sci-fi show in February. I'm not sure what other things are gonna be on. The only one, John. Hello. Tivo say, I heard the season ended on a high note. If I run out of things to watch, I might circle back to Travelers and continue with episode 9 going forward. I could not. Let's see. I was trying to, on a comic book front, of course, I did not buy a heck of a lot of stuff. I bought some stuff. Nothing worth showing. Not everything I buy is fancy, high grade, must show off stuff. I bought many readers, junky stuff for me to read. So especially like magazine. Okay, I bought a lot of. I buy these days over the past 2 years. I buy a lot of low grade readers of magazine. The thing that you can buy for $5 or cheaper, or buy a lot, grab a lot of magazines, and on an average, I try not to pay more than $3 a book. So if I can get a 5 magazine lots for $15 with shipping, I'm cool with that. I don't care about the condition. And these things are not meant to be worth a lot of money, high grade stuff. So good luck, Tivo, on the job interview. See you later. Carl, have you seen Humans? You mentioned Humans. If you haven't seen Humans, give it a shot. I watched the entire 8 episodes last week. One a day. I was able to watch it, and I like it. I like it a lot. I felt it was very well done on the low budget. Okay, that's another show. It's a low budget show. Don't expect a lot of explosion and fancy gadget, but it's well written, well acted, and a decent story. That's all we can ask for. Spotless. Carl recommends Spotless. I will check it out. I have not heard of Spotless. John Noyes asked, "Did you ever read the Penthouse comic series?" The answer is no. No, I did. I don't. I have. I think I have seen, but I can't recall when the last time I saw the Penthouse Comics magazine. I can't recall when the last time I saw them. I may have seen it once or twice here and there, but yes, Carl, it's on my HBO must see list. I might be one of the very few people that have not seen Game of Thrones. I have seen Game of Thrones season 1, okay, and it is part of my plan is to do HBO Go, pay for the monthly subscription service, and then binge on Game of Thrones season 2, 3, 4, and 5, as well as Westworld. It's on my thing. It's just that I have meant to do it this month in January, but I have been fairly busy, and there have been plenty of good shows to watch. So I decided to wait. If I'm run out of things to watch, then sure, I will pay for the HBO subscription and binge on Game of Thrones as well as Westworld. I have avoided I have avoided all the Westworld spoiler discussion. I heard here and there that it's a fantasy, sci-fi, really strange, cool, bizarre, interesting, all kind of adjective to it. So, but as far as Game of Thrones, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed season one. I can't recall if I see season two. I just remember seeing season one, and I may have watched or binge season two. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I just know that the last episode I saw on Game of Thrones is the episode where the Jason Momoa character died, and his wife with the little baby dragon. Okay, that's in my mind. That was the last thing that I saw as far as Game of Thrones. So if that's season one, let me know. Yes, Johnny Noise. It is. It's just that I don't have time right now. It's the biggest impediment for me not watching Game of Thrones or Westwood is time. I've been extremely busy with work and family stuff that I just haven't had the time. Ooh, Carl. Hello, JLS. Brooke, to answer your question, yes, I have. Shockingly, I have avoided. I'm pretty good when it comes down to avoid spoilers. If I decided that I don't want spoilers, I don't click on anything that say Game of Thrones reviews, blah blah blah. Nothing. I see nothing. I hear nothing. Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, it must be season one then that I saw. I just remember seeing, I was bummed out that Jason Momoa character didn't survive. So, that was my last thing that I can remember as far as Game of Thrones. Carl said that he is getting a Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing #1 9.6. Did you buy that on eBay, Carl? Was it an eBay purchase? Hopefully you got it at a good price. I have a couple raw copies of that book, but nothing fancy. Brooke, you have not seen Rogue One? Holy cow! Out of many things that I expect you to see, I would have expected you to watch Rogue One already, but that's a surprise to me. Yeah, I'm a pretty good avoider of spoilers. I can't tell you what is going on with Westwood or Game of Thrones because I know nothing. I don't want to know. If I don't want to know something, I'm not gonna know. On the movie front, there's a lot of buzz on Green Lantern with both Hal Jordan and the other Green Lantern. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with DC in the movie. And then I also heard about Shazam or The Rock with Black Adams, to be honest, I am exhausted with superhero movies. Can't even care to pay attention to what the hell is going on, to be honest. Don't even care. 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to hear the latest news. Now I'm like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I have not seen Silent by Martin Scorsese, Seeking Nemo Comics. It's on my list of things to see. I heard mixed review, okay, from friends. I have friends that have seen it, and they gave it a mixed review, non spoilers. They didn't say, my friend that saw it told me it's not a must see, and I trust my friends when it come down to. I have a couple of friends that are big movie buff, and they know me. They have seen. They have go to enough movies with me to know my taste. They have watched my review, so they have a good idea of my taste and my preferences. And they told me Silent is, it's one of those movies that they think I will give a pretty rough review because they don't think it's something that I will like based on what they think or know of me. Brooks say Oscar season Jackie La La Land. My wife want me to go see La La Land. I cannot. I cannot. Odin, been looking around for timely Submariner. Harder to find than I was expecting, at least at a reasonable price. That's, my friend Odin, is not uncommon with timely comics. Timely is, I have refrained from buying any timely. I mean, sure, would I love to have a Captain America #1? Hell yeah. Can I afford one right now? Hell no. But and that's my thing with Golden Age comic book. It's just like, A, they're hard to find. B, they're not cheap. So that's a good way to deter me from collecting them, because I don't want to just buy one. Just like EC, a lot of people keep asking me, why don't you collect EC? I'm just like, I love EC. I love EC horror. But do you see how hard it is to get them? And on top of that, do you see how expensive it is to get them, even when you get a mid-grade copy? So I don't want to just buy one or two books, the iconic covers as far as EC horror. I don't want to buy just one and say, oh, I have that one. That's it. That's the only one I wanted. I want more than one. But because they are hard to find and I just don't really have the patience to chase, easy for me to say no timely, no EC for now. Yeah, Silent, it's one of those movies that I heard is very long. And, these days, unless a movie is worth sitting around for 2.5, 3 hours, I prefer to go see a movie that is 2 hours or less. I like the 80s where movies are like 90 minutes. That's fine. I don't need to see a movie that is 3 hours long and many of the shots or scenes are slow, non-important scenes. I am with UT parents. They pre-code horror are awesome. I mean, whenever I see those books in other YouTuber halls, they are awesome. but at the same time, they are so hard to find. And like I said, when you had to fork out hundreds for low grade books, me no like. Not that I don't like to collect low grade, okay? I have plenty of low grade silver age books that I pay next to nothing for them, like 20, 30, $50, whatever. That's fine. But when you talk about low grade EC, pre code horror, like VG plus, because most of them are in pretty bad condition, and people want 100, 200, 300. Whew, no way. I have, I'm okay paying $30 for a reader copies as far as Silver Age superheroes, but paying 200, me no like. C White say he is an EC addict. If you can do it, good for you. Like I said, I have admired EC from afar for many years. For many years, I have admired EC and Timely. And as much as I love Timely, Timely to me has some of the best. If I had to pick like Golden Age, World War II books, hands down Timely. I will pick Timely over DC any day. I think Timely have the most awesome galleries of covers, especially World War II, compared to DC with Batman and actions and Superman and Wonder Woman. Trust me, some of the DC World War II stuff is pretty darn boring. But there is no such thing as a boring, timely World War II covers. No such thing. Howler Mouse is in the house. When it comes down to long movies, I agree. There are movies out there. Like I prefer, like I have all the Lord of the Rings extended cut in the box, and I watch those things all the time. And there are movies that are 3 hours that I think are fantastic. Dances with Wolves. There are many. Okay, there are many that are worth it, but there are also many that should not be even close to 2 hours, let alone 3 hours. So when it comes down to long movies, I have a distinct expectation on why a movie need to be 3 hours. If a story, ultimately for 3 hour movie, it's about pacing. How do you pace a 3 hour movie so that it retain the audience attention for that 3 hours? And I think that's the problem with many long movie, is that it fail in many spot. Heck, there's a lot of movies that can't even retain the average audience for 2 hours. And so it's about the pacing of the story. It's not a sweeping commentary that 3 hour movies are bad. There are plenty of good 3 hours movies out there, but you just need to have a well-paced, well-told stories to make it worth my time to sit down for 3 hours. Odin, I'm glad you watch Medici. It's like I said, it's one of those series on Netflix that I watch it. It's interesting. It's definitely a history piece for those that are curious about Medici and Florence and Italy and all that stuff. And I just think that the time jumping back and forth was a little bit annoying, especially in the early episodes. Odin, if you can make it through the first 2 episodes, it became less annoying in the later episode because there's no need to have so many flashback. The first episode is just a mix. The first episode, I wouldn't call it a mess, but the first episode of Medici is like every other scene is like back and forth. It confused me. I had to watch the first 10 minutes twice because I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? The son's short hair, long hair, mustache, beard. Doesn't Hoffman look this way? It was just all over the place. I'm just like, what am I seeing here? What am I watching? So yeah, if you can make it past the first two episodes with all the flashbacks, you'll be fine because the later episodes are pretty much linear for the most part. Odin say, seemed like they had even put some text on the screen with a date or character. It would have helped. Yeah, it's you know, and and you know, and that I do have my. That's one of my complaint with Rogue One was the first hour of the first 30 minutes of Rogue One was jumping to different galaxy, planet system, planets. Sometimes some people don't mind it. I find those things exhausting. I don't need to see a whole lot of jumping to different location all the time. It's to me that's one of my pet peeve. Whether it's science fiction or a history piece or time piece, it's just I don't like shows or movies that jump all over to different location a lot. Not that it's hard to follow or confusing. It's not. Okay, I don't like it, but it's not because I'm confused by this jumping to all over to different location or time. It's just annoying. C. White agree that timely Schomburg World War II covers are amazing. They are. I rarely see a timely World War II cover that I say blah. I can't recall when the last time I say blah to timely covers. I say blah to a lot of DC World War II covers. That's why I can't bring myself to buy a lot of DC books, even Golden Age, because some of those Superman and covers are just downright boring as hell. I'm sure I have offended a few hardcore DC fan. I'm just being honest. I can't look at the boring covers and say it's awesome. It's not. That one of my biggest pet peeve is the use of the word awesome. I told Anthony, my son, and my wife all the time, save the word awesome for the right time. Okay. Not everything is awesome. Okay. As in the Lego movie, for those that know what I'm talking about. Not everything is awesome. Okay. I have a family member, a relative, that everything is awesome. And I am constantly annoyed with him because everything is awesome. Every time he eats something, it's awesome. Everything he sees is awesome. Everything is awesome. The word awesome flew out of his mouth a few times a day. And I felt like saying, raise your expectation, raise your standards. Please. Not everything is awesome. AG Surfer and Howler Mouse agree that, well, they're not offended that I find some of the DC stuff to be boring. It's I'm not ashamed to admit that I am a Marvel fanboy. I'm not a DC hater by any means. Johnny Noise said Archie comics are not awesome. The thing with DC comics that I dislike the most, okay, is that the over reliance of Flash and the time traveling thing. Even on a TV show, I cannot watch The Flash anymore. I cannot watch Arrow anymore. Yesterday, I just happened to turn on Legends of Tomorrow, and holy cow, seemed like every character that was supposed to be dead is back on Legend of Tomorrow because of the time traveling thing. Oh, I can't take it. I can't take this time traveling nonsense with the multiverse stuff. I can't. My brain cannot comprehend this stuff. And not that I dislike it, but if you're gonna keep going back to that same plot point over and over and over the next decade or over the past decades, I cannot stand that. It's just I wish they can just go off into a different key points. Johnny Noise said, I can't take archery as a superpower. There is a love affair with archery, as in the Hunger Game. I finally watched the last part of the Hunger Game. I saw Hunger Game. My wife and I went to see Hunger Game, the first three, in the movie theater. But I finally saw the fourth episode on Amazon Prime last weekend, and it was okay. I say that the first, the second, and the last one was okay. The third one was, I didn't care for the third one. That's why I didn't care to go see the fourth one in the movie theater. But now that I saw the fourth Hunger Game, it's okay. But yes, a lot of archery in that movies. The only one John said that he watched all those DC TV shows because he know nothing about DC. I am with you. I'm not familiar with a lot of the DC. I am not. Okay, I would like to know more, but when I turn it on and it constantly time traveling, it's my preference. It's not that I'm sure there's a lot of people that on this live chat or other places that love all this time travel stuff, but I think that's why I do not enjoy the show Travelers. I had mentioned this in previous live chat that even in my younger days, when the show Quantum Leap was a big success on TV, I could not get into that show because of the time travel thing. For some reason, when it comes down to science fiction, sci-fi, time traveling has always been something that I never care for. And I think that's one of the main problems I have with DC TV shows, as well as many DC books with the Flash and a time travel thing. Woo! No can do. No can do. Howler Mouse asked if I watch Doctor Who. Yes, I do. I watched Doctor Who way back, I guess, in the 80s on PBS with the time travel phone booth. And that I didn't mind. I didn't mind as much because it was the way Doctor Who did. Okay, I must say that I'm not up to speed on the current Doctor Who. Okay. So I can't say about what's going on with Doctor Who in the last 5 years. I've been not up to speed with the last 5 years of Doctor Who, but when it comes down to time travel, I would say that Doctor Who is the only show that I seem to enjoy now that I think about it, because it's not so outlandish as um, other time traveling shows, based on the way my brain interpret what I saw. 74 Screw Gun? Yes. Now, the Star Trek episode with Spock and Kirk go back to World War II, that was fun. Okay? I mean, when I say that I dislike time travel, it's more about the entire series. Okay? If you have a show that, like Star Trek, that is basically, only use the time travel trick once or twice, that's fine. I just can't watch a show that had the one trick pony every episode. Holy cow, I can't deal with that one trick pony every episode. That's why, there's a new show on NBC, Timeless. Can't even bother to waste my time. I don't need to see that. I don't want to see that. So when it comes down to time travel, it's not that I dislike it. I like it in small doses. I like it not to be a repetitive weekly episodes, with the exception of Doctor Who. The only one John said, time travel is just a marketing tool to intro new characters without killing old characters. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just look at the way the Flash is. Oh my God. Just look at the DC shows. Holy cow. Nobody stayed dead. Nobody stayed dead. I mean, I flip through Flash or Arrows or Legend of Tomorrows, and I see so many characters that were supposed to be dead, and they are back. And I'm just like, I can't even take this stuff seriously. And not that you should take comic book TV shows seriously, but I can't even take it lightly. Paula Costa, hello. I don't recall ever see Paula Costa in the show. One of the Star Trek time travel episode was a backdoor pilot for a time travel series called Assignment Earth. That ring a bell. I have all of the Star Trek episode series on DVD. I have all of them, so I might have to pull it out and watch again. I vaguely remember the episode that you were talking about, but I have that, and the only Star Trek DVD series that I have is Deep Space Nine. I'm telling you, Deep Space Nine is, I like I like all Star Trek, okay, but to me, Deep Space Nine is a lot of fun that I think a lot of people kind of overlook. I like Deep Space Nine a lot because it's different. It's not it's confined mostly in the station. It's not, exploring. It's a different take. It's a very different take of Star Trek compared to all the other Star Trek series, and I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the characters and the cast of that series so much. That's why it's the other Star Trek series that I do have on DVD to rewatch. Scott is in the house. He asked if amazing. Oh yeah, that is the Amazing Fantasy 15 that was sold at ComicLink, I believe. Is it worth 460K? Only time will tell, Scott. When it comes down to these big books, we had to wait a few years before it returned to the market to see if somebody else is willing to pay higher. I don't know. The way the stock market is right now, there's a lot of money slushing around looking to park, okay? Because we're at the all-time high. The Trump presidency is boosting the financial market. There's a lot of money floating around. People are spending on big books. I would not be surprised at all to see books going for some crazy, crazy prices. But as far as it worth 460, I would not pay 460 for it. You know, I can't imagine paying 460K for any books, let alone you know, I can't even fathom paying 460K for a copy of Action One, whether it's a 2.0. Well, I have no idea what 460 would buy. I'm guessing something like a 2.0, maybe, or 3.0. I don't know, but I can't even imagine spending that kind of money on Action One, let alone Amazing Fantasy 15. No, no. Enterprise was okay. It's weak. 74 Scrugan. It's weak. Scott said that maybe a 9.4 with white page. Not many Amazing Fantasy 15 has white pages, so that would be a rarity. Same thing with I think I've seen Hook One with a white page once in a while, but that's also fairly rare. It's rare to see white pages on many Silver Age Marvel keys, like whether it's Fantastic Four 1, Daredevil 1, or X-Men 1. It's very rare to see a white page. I mean, they exist. I have seen them, but it's not a surprise that the majority of Marvel Mega Silver Age keys are usually not white. That's okay, Hollow Mouse. If you don't like Deep Space Nine, that's okay. I'm not surprised that a lot of people don't like Deep Space Nine. For whatever reason, it works for me for many years. Ever since I start watching Deep Space Nines, I just love the Ferengi. I like the Dominions. I like the storyline with the Dominions war with the founders. There's a whole lot of, to me, it was interesting, and different. Bottom line was it was a very different series compared to any other Star Trek series that we ever had, and I enjoy it, and it's okay. Like I said, I don't really care if people don't like it or not. What are my thoughts on the new CBCS label? Bianchi asked. I like it. I think it looked better than the second iteration. The second iteration was the one with the shield and the rivets. I didn't care for that one. The latest incarnation looked good. I'm not in love with the label. I don't hate it or dislike it, but I definitely like it more than the second iteration. I thought the second iteration looked pretty bad, and I think the general consensus, people didn't like it. That's why CBCS was in a hurry to move on to the third iteration. It's both CBCS and CGC are very reactive to the customers when it comes down to the labels, and that's a good thing. They're not reactive to the customers on many other areas. For those that watch my channel long enough, you heard me complain and moan and groan about many issues with both CGC and CBCS. But when it comes down to labels, I think both company has done a very good job in listening to the complaints and fix it fairly quickly, as quickly as they could. Um, and that's a good thing. It's one of the very few positive things that I can say about both CGC and CBCS. A few positive things. Bianchi asked, "Did I like the original CBCS label?" I did. I didn't dislike it. Do I have any laying around? I still have. I submitted a bunch of books the first year they were in business, and they're okay. I mean, I like the current version more than the first two versions. So uh, I did not hate the first version. I hated the second version, but I feel that the third version is definitely the best one yet. I think CGC label look great. I mean, I don't really. I'm glad that CGC was able to fix its issues. Um, for the most part, I mean, they still have some issues. I still see the new slab with that little um, rainbow effect thing, and I already had my say on how they could have fixed that. It's easy fix. It's an easy fix. Okay, for those that watch my slab talk, I did have an episodes on how I believe how I believe CCC could have fixed that issues easily. But who am I to talk? Well, it's 8 o'clock. Time flew when I'm yapping. Anyhow, unless there is any more questions to answer, I'd say it's time for me to chill. Yes, Bianchi, it is. The newer slab is definitely heavier. Okay, definitely sturdier. The material is definitely more solid and heavier. One of these days, I need to weigh some books to compare because I do have a book that is in the newer label and one in the old label of the same book, like the same book that I can put on a scale just to weigh out the thing and see how many ounces the newer one is more. Shuffle, time for me to go. AG Surfer, bye bye. TV Casualty. Thanks for stopping by. Well, you can always watch on rerun. Anyhow, thank you everybody for tuning in to the chat. Tune in this weekend as a reminder for the battle royale of my trivia game with the remaining 4 players. Okay, from what I saw, I think people, at least 2 of the 4 players, have agreed that they want to do a battle royale. 4 go in, 1 exit, the winner. Tim, you came back just in time for me to say goodbye. Well, Tim, see you later. Bye, Carl. Bye, AG. I will go watch your video now. Everybody, go watch Tim video. He load a new video on his channel. Later. Oh, I forgot. It is Vietnamese/Chinese New Year this weekend. Woo. Tim just remind me that. To all my Vietnamese brothers out there and sisters, Happy New Year. Goodbye.